booties for black girl nerds.
Black girl nerds!
Hello!
Black girl nerds!
Hello!
No, I was listening to what you were saying. I loved watching Certain Women.
I know you did. You reached out forever ago about it.
Oh my god!
I have a new manager now, so talk to the new manager.
No, it's all good. It's so great to meet all of you, and I really enjoyed this film a lot. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Lily, my first question was for you. Leah and Angela's relationship is such a powerful example of queer partnership, especially facing so many real-world decisions like IVF, pregnancy, and grief. What drew you to portraying this kind of emotional honesty?
I think that was the thing about this character that was maybe the biggest, I'm not sure if I'm ready to approach this, as I was very much on the lookout and excited to have a romantic comedy, have an ensemble piece come my way. I love Andrew as a director. I saw his film Sideways because I liked the description of it forever ago before we ever met, and so I was really just excited when it came around. But then I got to this point, particularly the scene in the shower where you're like, you don't know, you just know there's disappointment. You don't know if it's didn't take, it's just her cycle coming, like it's like, oh, the moon is here, that means that the baby's not, or if it was a scene that was kind of dealing with miscarriage a bit. And I very much believe in the power of storytelling being a somatic experience, and I was coming off of my last one, I'm like, I want to give women a gift that feels good, that their bodies will feel good watching this film. I don't know if I can handle this journey of having a child or not, and the pain and what I found in playing the character that I didn't expect, the level of shame that society casts on women who struggle to conceive for whatever reason, the added layer of shame and societal scorn for this being a queer couple doing so. I loved how that choice had to be, as Andrew said it several times, the line Angela has in the film, it's like, well, if it happens, it happens. That comes from his lived experience. It's like, no, not for us. It doesn't just happen for us. He says you can't whoopsie daisy a baby. But when I finished the script, I saw the journey that we went on, and without spoiling anything, I feel like in the end, this film gives one of the biggest, your 3 words for it, a warm hug. Was that your 3 words? It does. And when I talk about that somatic effect storytelling has on its audience, that is the feeling when you finish reading it, when you finish watching it. It's a warm hug, and I wanted to be part of it.
And then they do whoopsie daisy a baby in the end too.
Ooh, spoiler!
No, that was so well put. Thank you, Lily. Hi, Bowen.
Hi.
I think it's so interesting how there's a quiet moment where Chris really opens up to Min's grandmother, especially about his art, because those drawings were beautiful. I don't know if you did them yourself, but
no, but thank you for
It's okay. I was wondering, what do you think that reveals about his self-worth and identity within the film, since he was, kind of hiding that part of himself?
Yeah, I mean, he has buried, and that scene, for me, what comes across is that he's buried these personal details about his life so far beneath all of these other things that have sedimented on. He thinks about his job or how he fits into his the tumult that he's cast his relationship in, and all these other things. I think he is kind of working through a lot of shame, and then for Min's grandmother to go, you've been to very many prestigious schools, and you've and what are your parents like, and what are all these, tell me about yourself. And he is excavating it in real time for himself, because I think he's forgotten and lost touch with that person. But I think what I love about this film is that between the 4 characters, you see that moment in that when they all wake up, they all nurture life in some way. Chris fills the bird feeder, Lee is tending to the garden, Angela's working on the worms, and Min is kind of patching together this beautiful art. These are 4 people who are ready for this challenge that they all kind of want to go in on together, which is cultivating life. And I think that scene is, thank you for asking about that scene. I feel like I haven't gotten to talk about it, but that scene kind of is the portal into their destiny is for people.
I love that.
I agree. That's amazing. So, Kelly, Angela's relationship with her mother is super layered in this film, especially with like a lot of hurt and resentment. Eventually, that becomes understanding, which was really great to see. How did you emotionally prepare to dive into such a complicated dynamic?
I think as an actor, I think we always use our personal experience in different in different roles, and I was able to sort of piece together little moments of resentment from my childhood. And then on top of that, the script was just so beautifully written, and Andrew and James did such a good job of capturing that relationship specifically. It was already all there, and then I got to work with a genius, Joan Chen, and I just had to be there with her and just receive. So yeah, it was a pretty miraculous experience.
Yeah. Ji-chan, I'm so excited for you. This is your first big American film. It was so wonderful to see
Thank
you in
you.
this. Yes. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so I just wanted to make
Oh no!
I'm
yeah, I know, I'm
sorry.
No, it's
sorry.
We love
okay.
But we
you.
love you and
Thank you.
congratulations to all of you.
Oh.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hi, Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so happy to meet you.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you. And I think there's such a beautiful theme in the film about older generations learning to embrace the younger people's identities. What conversations were most important to you to capture in the film, especially between the parents and their adult children?
Yeah, um, I think intergenerational conflict is a big part of all of our lives. And I think it's really important for people to understand the values and the priorities of the next generation. And we've grown up in such different times that sometimes that understanding of priorities can be really difficult. But I think that there's a real beauty when that understanding of priorities happens. And I wanted to show that, even this older generation, that they can learn, right? And that they'll adjust, and that hopefully inspires their children for when they become parents to think about that next generation as well. And so to just kind of pass down this spirit of generosity and understanding that I think is really, really difficult, but so important in this process of parenting.
Absolutely. And I found it really amusing how Angela's mother is kind of like the opposite of what you would think at first, because it's so funny to me. But I think their journey is very emotionally charged, and eventually it becomes like a healing process, which was really beautiful to watch. What was your approach in exploring that kind of complex relationship? Because, it's like she's too supportive and it's annoying, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that we can now tell stories about queer people, whose parents are like too supportive of them, and their queerness, and it almost feels like like performative allyship, right? That these allies are centering themselves still, and I think that that's a really interesting nuance in this kind of journey towards equality. And so I know that it's a very kind of niche subject, but I think performative allyship is something that we have to deal with as queer people and as people of color. And I think that there's this important reminder of like, hey, who are you helping? And just like wanting to make sure that you're centering, the people that need the help. And so that for me was a really fun, kind of naturally comedic, but then also like very heartfelt element of the movie.
Yeah, no, I love how like even in the trailer she's like, "Oh, I still want to post about it. Is that okay?" Like, no, like you're like obsessed and it's crazy, but it's like
I know.
stuff we wouldn't have thought originally would have happened. So it's a cool thing. And I was also really interested and how you balance cultural tradition with the fluidity of modern identity in your storytelling, especially with both Asian and queer communities, like we were just saying. Like, how do you find that balance? Because, it does explore a lot of the cultural traditions that are, hard to get rid of sometimes.
Yeah, I wanted to have a Korean wedding in the film because I wanted to show that, these rituals and traditions can feel, very like stuck, right? Very concrete. But at the same time, we're modern people participating in these like rituals, and so it has to flex and hopefully through that flexing become more inclusive, and I think that traditions evolve, and I think that they should evolve, and that we shouldn't be scared of them, and so I wanted to show how sometimes these rituals we don't even know kind of what they mean or how they started, and so like let's at least have some fun then.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point because it's so hard to figure them out sometimes. And I really appreciate your time and I loved talking to you. I hope we can meet again soon.
Cool. Yeah. No. Thank you for chatting.
Thank you.
Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.